So hi, welcome to Good Noise Podcast. We're here with Blue Vines. We're going to ask them some questions today. I'm going to start. How do you feel about the reception to your EP, Fever Dreamy?
It has been awesome. Especially it was the first thing that I put out under the Blue Vines name. And people were, really warm, really receptive. It's a small audience that I'm still building. But only positive reception so far. Everyone's been really, really cool about it. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Sick. That's really good to hear. It was very good. I listened to it, and I thought it was really, really good. So
Yeah, I know Gloria and I both enjoyed it, so yeah.
yeah.
Thanks, guys.
So where was your headspace when you were writing that EP?
Oh. I was ready for that one. No, I think there was kind of a sort of through line or theme in a lot of the songs of anxiety. Something I'm still, working through. But yeah, definitely kind of working through, getting more mentally healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships, some romantic, some family stuff, and just kind of how I relate to the world. So yeah, kind of work in progress, I think was kind of the theme when I was writing those songs.
Okay.
All right. So what would you do differently on your next release that you didn't get a chance to do on that EP?
Do differently? Tons. Let's see. Well, I did it maybe including more people. So I was lucky enough to, my fiance played bass on some of the songs on Fever Dreamy, which was awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and that was super fun for me. But I think I'd like to even have more musicians kind of collaborate. I like to think of it the way I want to set it up going forward once, things go back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a collective where people can kind of come in and out, and, I could just have different friends add their ideas. So I would definitely like, lots of different influences, more instruments, and just a change in the way that I write the songs, the things that I focus on. I'm hoping to expand.
All right. Would those new influences be like permanent additions to the band, or would they just be like just working on the album and then just like putting their 2 cents in?
It's something that I think about all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
I want to be like careful how I like say it, because I don't want to come off like a jerk. Like, it's mine,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like this like project or one-man band or whatever has been like, so it's been therapeutic for me. It's fun to interact with people, and I've gotten through Twitter and through solo shows and stuff to meet so many great people, and it's just fun to do. So it's like, I think I don't want to put pressure on other people, like, now you're in my band and we have to do this thing. So I almost like this open door of, hey, you can come in, we can record something or play a couple of shows, and then if you got other stuff going on, that's cool too. But it makes it more fun that way, I think.
Yeah,
Oh.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Sick.
it's definitely interesting.
Yeah. So what bands or artists do you think you can hear in your music?
What I hope is, I know, growing up, I, usually influenced by like 2000s emo, pop punk, all the standards. I love Motion City Soundtrack, of course, My Chem, Taking Back Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
all like strong lyrically based bands that, told great narrative stories. So I'm hoping those come through. I have gotten comparisons, and I've said this before in like interviews or talking to people. Somebody said, one of your songs sounds like Sarah Bareilles, and I was like, I don't hear that. That's not what I was going for, but awesome.
Yeah.
Sick.
So what inspired you to start the project as a whole, and what does the band name mean?
Yes. I've been waiting for a year and a half for someone to ask. So, okay, the project started, so I know I mentioned my fiance, Andrea, is super supportive. And basically I was moping around our apartment over a year ago, kind of complaining. I didn't know anybody locally, to play with, and I had all these ideas, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. And she was just like, dummy, like, start something yourself. Like, she was like, you have a room full of instruments, go pick them up and start writing.
Oh.
And and it was like this dumb thing that didn't occur to me. Like, I didn't know I could just do it. So I just kind of started, and I was like, okay, like, she had her basses. I had my guitars, and I got an electric kit recently. So I was like, yeah, I just started writing and putting it together, and I had no conception of what it was going to be. And it kind of turned into this cool thing. I started demoing last winter, 2019, and then planned for the EP and whatnot. And the name Blue Vines, there's a lot of references in like my song titles and lyrics and all these things to like pop culture. So Blue Vines was a misheard "We Love the Office" in our house. Oh. So there's the Dwight Christmas episode, where it's like Pennsylvania Dutch Christmas, and he serves German glow wine that's called glue wine, and I thought he said blue vine, and then I was just like, oh, that sounds really dope, so it just stuck.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Wow, I love that. Yeah. That's awesome. So, can you tell us a little bit about your writing process, and do you think it's changed with your time in quarantine?
Definitely. My writing process, it always starts with lyrics. I'm definitely biggest on my vocals and lyrics. I think I like to attack a song as a poem that I'm kind of adding a backdrop of music to. And that is a fancy way of saying that I am not classically trained or don't have like a very proficient background in, a technical background in songwriting. I think it has changed because I've wanted to push myself. I've like been comparing in friendly ways to a lot of my peers who are really upping their game, especially in quarantine, and are doing these really complex things. So I've been trying to hone my skill, teach myself, more chords, make more complex compositions, and make it interesting in that way. But it's still, I think, largely Blue Vine song is always going to start with like a story. And I think one of the biggest ways, just thinking of the way the world is changing around us with the pandemic, with a lot of social and political stuff going on here and around the world, is that I've tried to write the EP. I think was a lot of me and like processing my feelings, and I'm trying to expand to be a little more empathetic. So I'm hoping it comes off in future songs that it's like me, but I relate in a giant world.
So can you tell us what you've been working on, if anything, any new projects?
Sure. So through Sparrow Heart Records, I know you had KM on recently. Yeah. Awesome guy, and he and some friends put out a compilation to support Black Lives Matter. So I contributed a new track called Devils and the Demagogue to that. Yeah, it was super fun, a little more folksy, kind of influenced by some stuff I'd listened to recently. And hopefully where my political leanings are, I'm hoping are pretty obvious in that song. But it went towards a good cause, so that was awesome. And I do have 2 singles that I've been sitting on for a long time.
Ooh.
So I'm super excited. I work with a producer friend. I'm here on Staten Island, New York. So I have a friend who works locally who runs his own studio. And the weekend before everyone went into shelter in place or like stay at home, I recorded, went into the studio and did it in a day. And he's just like mixing and mastering. I'm still not great at like the engineering side of things. So we're kind of working together, and I give my feedback, but as soon as he's kind of done just cleaning those songs up, I have 2 I'm really hoping by summer, 1 acoustic and 1 like full band electric. And I think, I guess everyone always hopes, but I really think they're the best songs that I've written yet.
Ooh. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, congrats on that.
Thank you so much.
So you mentioned that your song on the Black Lives Matter comp is a little more folksy because you've been listening to stuff like that recently. So does what you listen to when you're making music affect the turnout, like the genre or the composition of it?
Definitely. There's 5 songs on the Fever Dream EP, and I could like tell you an artist artists like what headspace, and just be like, everyone has their take. I'm like, oh, this sounds like this, but I could tell you instantly I was listening to this band, and I'm hoping like shades of them come out in the song. So
that's so cool.
100%.
Yeah. All right.
So where do you see the project in the next 5 years?
Hopefully on stages. As I'm sure that's everyone's shared hope. Live streams and everything is fun, and I mean being able to practice and kind of hone the craft. I'm lucky to have more time to do it, so trying to be glasses half full, but definitely expanding. I have friends My friend Jeremy is a bass player. My friend Chris is a drummer. I know a couple of other musicians who have said they're happy to, to fill in and either record or at least play some shows. So I'm definitely hoping to, to play, to promote, to write more music. I have in various stages an album's worth of recording. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, I think it's just a matter of, funding, because it can be expensive, and just time and accessibility. But if I can get back into the studio, and I know a lot of people are also very proficient, I got to get a little better at the home recording. But I also like going into the studio. For me, it's almost like a gym or spa day. Like someone finds it relaxing.
Yeah.
I like going in, playing live instruments, and just kind of, it's cathartic. So I'm hoping to do that and just put out all this music I've been writing.
Sick. Yeah. Looking forward to that new music, though.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to say more about it, but I feel like it's nice to have a little bit of mystery. But as soon as I'm ready, you guys are going to be the first to know, because I'm
Sick.
just so stoked to share with people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So for the last couple questions, we're actually going to steer away from music and go straight to death row. So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
You guys got real dark real fast.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Talking about all my hopes and aspirations. Okay.
And then death row.
Yeah. All right. You're killing me off. It's fine.
No.
Okay. Death row. Well, question. Can I go somewhere? I don't know how many requests I can have as a prisoner, but can I go somewhere to eat this meal?
Sure. For you?
Sure.
You guys are the best. Okay. Have either of you guys been down to Nashville?
I have no. I think I drove through it. So technically, but
course,
I don't think I stopped. Yeah.
It totally counts.
Okay. Sick.
There's a place in Nashville we went 2 years ago. It's called Monell's, and it's like these like restored like Victorian like houses. And basically what it is like a family style sit down restaurant. You sit at like this big table with strangers, and they serve you. It's like all you can eat like Southern food, like fried chicken, biscuits, like banana pudding, sweet tea, like all this amazing stuff. And like their only rule is like keep your phone in your pocket, pass to the left. This is kind of like a cordial thing, and just they kind of encourage conversation with like the people around you. So you'll meet people who are coming in from all different cities, and like you make new friends. So I would want my last meal to like have a nice conversation with some strangers and just fill up on as much like chicken as I can until I pass out.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
I've never
cool.
heard of like a restaurant like make you sit with other people, and like I don't know. I think that's so homey. I like it.
Yeah.
They're nice about it. Like it's not mean. I think they're like encouraging. I guess like manners. I don't know, Southern hospitality. Yeah. But there's something like charming about it, and that I dig. And the food's just so good.
Oh yeah, that helps.
For sure.
So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Hell yes. I would live in Clocktown from the game Zelda Majora's Mask.
Ooh.
Because as long as Link is doing his job and rewinding time, I just get to keep living the same 3 days over and over again. So I would just, I don't know. I would just do it. Maybe I'd have little variations in my days, but I don't know if you guys can play that game. There's a lot of weird stuff that goes on, and it's super fun. But that's where I'd want to live.
Ooh, that sounds really cool. So, I have the honor of asking the last question, and everybody we've spoken to has said it's the most important question.
Okay, I'm ready.
What is your favorite color?
We got another laugh, Glory.
Oh, thank you.
The hype is awesome.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. Green.
Green.
Yeah.
All right. Any
Do you
specific
have like
shade?
a specific shade? Yeah.
Yes. Whatever color Luke Skywalker's lightsaber from Return of the Jedi is.
Ooh.
Green's been my favorite color, and I discovered this recently. I had like this moment of insight where I was like, I liked green because I was 6 years old sitting in a theater, and he turned on that Jedi lightsaber, and I was like, that's really cool. So whatever color that is.
All right.
All right. That's a pretty good green.
Yeah. So as Glory said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything you would like to plug?
Just appreciative of people continuing to listen to the music in general. People can keep their eyes peeled on my page. Hopefully soon I'll be releasing some new stuff, so you can look forward to that. My Twitter page is @BlueVinesBand. There'll be lots to come later this year.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
So thank you for sitting down with us. This has been Blue Vines and We're the Good Noise podcast.